Amusement park. Who are we? Hello, our names are Morgan Moore and Jada Neal. We work for PLTW Preventative Medicine Program and are responsible for creating a unique approach that motivates people to participate in specific health problems. The issue. We are trying to decrease the risk of spreading an infectious disease amongst guests at an amusement park. The park will be known as Chilling Coasters, and they have an average of 1 million customers per year. Our plan. We plan to add dividers that can fit up to the maximum of 4 people that are distanced from each other. We not only that, but we will implement distancing between riders on roller coasters as well by also putting dividers between every 2 riders. This description is kind of hard without a visual aid, so I'm going to take you guys over here to show you. So these are the lines, and they look like this once they're, filled up with customers waiting to get on the ride. What we would do is have distancers between every 4 people, but it basically just enough to fit a group, kind of, if that makes sense. Because most will only have a group of 2, but we will have a distancer that can fit up to the maximum 4 people. But every group will have to be distanced from another group of riders. Now, if you have a group of, let's say, 6 people, then we would suggest you do a group of 4 and then a group of 6 and 1 divider. These dividers will be clear cubicles, if that makes sense. Like our lines, let me show you guys. Our lines will have, do you see how these little tents? Just imagine that tent cubified and suggested. And not suggested. Cubified and kind of not segregated, that's not the word. What is the word called? I'm sorry. Cubified and divided, basically. And the riders will be able to fit in there, and it will be like a little disinfectant mist that sprays before we open it and let people go into the next one to get to the ride. And yeah, we'll also social distance the riders. So it'll be 2 every other seat. Well, depending on the ride. Some rides may have 3 seats per row, but per row, it will be a row and then skip another, if that makes sense. How will we educate our guests about risk factors and levels of prevention? We will start by letting our guests know the official protocols before entering the amusement park. We will let our guests know the consequences if guidelines are not followed and how serious this can be. Also, throughout the amusement park, we will have signs that remind our guests at all times what they are supposed to be doing to keep safe. So we will allow people will know from our website and when they book tickets and just little pictures that we'll have around and signs and stuff, that how rides are set up and how the distancing works and things like that. So they can know before entering the park and while in the park and constantly be reminded. How will we motivate customers? We will motivate customers by announcing every 15 minutes the probable outcome if they refuse to follow our safe guidelines. We will create a speech that drives our customers to be safe and feel comfortable around other individuals. So we will create a speech that kind of gives the symptoms and outcome if guests do not follow our guidelines, just to kind of scare our customers to the point to where they just want to follow the rules and not leave. You don't want to scare the customers away. You just want them to follow the rules and guidelines that you have in place. And that's what we would do with this speech that we will announce every 15 minutes. It wouldn't be longer than 30 seconds, just to kind of have a vocal reminder also over the loudspeakers that play music throughout the park. How will we measure success of our healthcare program? We will measure success by leaving a tab on our website that allows guests to give a follow-up of their visit. This follow-up will not only include telling us what worked best for you, but how you are feeling to see if they may have gotten sick. We will take all advice into consideration and make any changes that are needed. So back to the first part. We will allow guests to tell us, like, give them, it's like a little survey tab. They can give a follow-up on their visit, and they can tell us how they're feeling. Although some might say, well, a person may be sick before they come, and then just come and then say they felt sick, and so that messes up our data and it's not as accurate. But we will make it a thing to where don't come if you don't feel good. If you're having these symptoms, do not enter the park. Things like that. And I know some people still don't care, but we will have certain things in place to where if you are feeling sick or if you are sick, we will be able to tell. And then the second thing, we will take events into consideration and make any changes that are needed. So if a customer comes to the park and feels like, well, we should increase the amount of people that can fit into a divider in a line, then we will take that in consideration and see how many people have a group bigger than 4 and things like that, to make sure that we are giving our customers the best experience every time they come, the most comfortable experience. We believe this is the best solution for reducing the spread of any and all contagious diseases at an amusement park. Our plan is not only inexpensive, but will be very effective. Results should be seen within the first couple of weeks of implementation of all rules and regulations. Thank you for listening. We hope you all consider. Goodbye.